Welcome to Mediaspace Members Daily. We bring you exclusive interviews from our leadership group and other professional influencers within the media GovTech community globally. Today I have with me Jane Wiseman, CEO for the Institute of Excellence in Government and a fellow at the Yash Center for Democratic Governance at Harvard Kennedy School. Hi Jane, how are you?
Good morning, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. How did COVID impact the government's appetite for data analytics?
Great question. So, couple of things. There's a huge demand for data, but a lot of what we're realizing is that the important data for understanding the COVID problem is not government data. So, for example, we really want to know how many people are being tested, how quickly they're being tested, and government wants to have that data, but the source of the data is the doctor who orders the test, the lab that does the test, and it takes a while for that data to be ingested by government in the public health system. And it turns out that our public health system has been underinvested in for a long time. So in the US, we have many public health agencies that get thousands and thousands of faxes a day with lab test results on COVID. So this thing about data analytics, yes, there's a huge demand for, predictive analytics and algorithms and looking at even GIS maps of where is the virus hitting the worst. But it's also reminded us of something so fundamental about data, which is if you don't have quality at the source, what's the point of doing analytics? So, the hand entering of data into systems when it comes from a piece of paper that got faxed in just reminds us of why, half of the demographic data is missing, much of the contact information is missing, so that contact tracers have to start with just searching sources to figure out what is Jane Wiseman's phone number so we can call her and tell her test result. So high demand for data, high visibility for data. But another thing is that I think in the US, when people think about government, they don't realize how many layered it is, right? There are all these different departments that are interconnected and different layers of government. So we've got city governments, counties, states, federal. And so I think there's a lot more visibility into the complexity that is government. And so I hope that, when we look back on this time, I hope that one of the things that will be a positive outcome is an increased reverence for the difficult work that public servants do every day and how important it is.
What are the opportunities in data analytics for national and local governments related to the communication or media space?
So there are lots of opportunities. I think one of the things we're seeing is the importance of messages being simple. So I spend a lot of time working with data scientists who are very excited about the complexity of their models. And I think one of the important things is to be able to be that super smart person who can understand complexity, but also can explain it in a way that 300 million Americans or, all over the globe, that people can understand and take action with. So I think the communication piece is really important. And one of the things that we're seeing in cities is the use of nudges. So Durham, North Carolina, one of the kind of medium to smaller size cities, has an innovation team that has used behavioral economics or nudges to try to improve the use of social distancing and hand washing and masks and just kind of cautionary things. And so the city is organizing a public relations campaign. They're making simple messages that are appealing to civic pride. The city of Durham, their baseball team are the Durham Bulls, and this, so it's get back on the bull is their slogan. And so they're making it fun, appealing to pride, So I think that's one of the things that can work. Lots of cities have tried nudges. New Orleans has done a great job with using nudges to get better public health. Syracuse did a program with nudges on tax delinquents and increased revenue by $1.5 million without any new program. Just they wrote some handwritten notes on the outside of the tax bill saying, "Don't forget to pay." So I think clear communications, thinking about nudges, those are some of the ways where Gov and communications can come together and really help get us through this.
What's your advice for the media GovTech community for this very special summer?
So my advice to everyone in every walk of life at this moment is just humility, because as Dr. Fauci says, the virus will teach us, right? We don't know all the answers, and to pretend that we have all the answers is crazy. So humility first. Second is empathy, because we are all going nuts, trapped inside, and then afraid when we get like, should we go to a restaurant? Shouldn't we? These things that used to be so simple are now complex. So humility, patience, kindness, and I hope that in this time where we're just seeing how important data is to decision making, I hope that this inspires a whole new generation of people to come into government to try to make a difference, because it's so important. Literally saving lives.
Thank you, Jane, for sharing your knowledge and expertise. It was great to have you with us. Stay tuned for the next episode of Mediaspace Members Daily. In the meantime, connect with us at mediaspace.global.